I think if somebody had told me some of these things from the beginning, I could have been more prepared. The hardest part was not knowing what was to come. That your parent is going to has been diagnosed with dementia. I thought I would share today what I wish I knew when my mum was first diagnosed with dementia, in the hope that it helps somebody else. These aren't tips. These are things that I've learned along the way, which I hope will help you. First thing is that your relationship will change, and that's not your fault. The shift is quite gradual. You don't realize it. You'll see that your loved one will need a little bit more help to begin with. They may hide the fact that they need that help. They may get angry at you because they need that kind of support. So one day you'll realize at some point that you've become more of the parent than the child. And that's quite a hard shift to deal with initially. But if you give it in terms of the way that when you were younger, the selfless, compassionate love that was given to you is the kind of love that your parent deserves as well. That you give it with generosity. And it can be difficult. There's no sugarcoating it. It can be very difficult, and you might miss the old version of who they were. But you need to embrace the new version. Embrace the person they are now, as they say. Because dementia, it does change the person that you love. But there's also positives that come out of it, and that's what you need to hang on to. Number 2, you're going to feel angry. That doesn't make you cruel or a horrible person. It's just there are going to be moments when you're going to feel angry. I know how angry I felt at times. Anger at the disease. Anger at the little things that Mum did sometimes that just really annoyed me. Anger at the lack of support that you get for certain people. The silence from the so-called friends and family who you think were going to be there for you and aren't. But then the other side of it is that anger doesn't define you. Let it come out. Not necessarily in front of your loved one, but express it in some way to get rid of it out of your body. Feel that release even. Just makes you human, to be honest. And it really means that you're probably stretched too thin, maybe for too long, and that you need some kind of help, or you just need that moment to release, or you need some way to express yourself outside of caregiving. So your whole life isn't just that. That's something I wish I'd known beforehand, and I wish I'd pursued more. Well, that leads basically into the next point, which is you'll find at some point that you may have lost yourself along the way, that you may only see yourself now as a caregiver. And it's hard sometimes to find your way back to your sense of self again. And you stop going out, maybe, you stop texting your friends, but over time it builds, and then you realise that your whole life revolves around the person that you're caring for. And it's really hard to step back from that, but you do need to. And trying to get that in the beginning of your caregiving journey is a lot easier. Making sure that you carve out a slot of time for yourself. And I know that's difficult because in order for you to be able to leave or to go away, you need to have somebody to come in and to care for that person. But whatever it is you manage to carve out, it is important that you do to help return your sense of self. Get that into your routine so that it's something that's there and it's your kind of non-negotiable. That's your time that you need for yourself. And I can totally understand how difficult that will be. But it's something that you do need to work on, because at the end, you need to be able to find yourself, know who you are still, and what makes you you. Because you can just become, as I always thought of myself, as a caregiver. And in the end, I didn't know who I was after caring, because I spent far too much of my time around Mum, doing things for Mum, and not enough for myself. And you have to remember that you existed before you were a caregiver, and you need to try and find a way to keep that part of yourself alive. Fourth thing is the system won't catch you. You have to ask for help. And it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you can't manage, because that's what I kept saying. I can manage. But the reality is that if you don't ask for help, eventually stresses of caring can become too much. It is a fact that if you are caring for a long period of time, that it will have an effect on your mental and physical health. It's just a fact. So the sooner that you can ask for help and get the support that you need, the better it is for you. All I know is I wish I'd known sooner, because I thought I was just being strong, but really I was just being foolish, because the reality is that that's not going to help you in the long term. You need that support, you need that help. No one explains what's out there at the beginning, the support that you could get, the respite that you may be able to get, the benefits that you may be able to get that can help pay for you to do different things. I'd wished I'd asked sooner, and it's very hard to find out all this information, but there are some good carers websites out there, or carers forums that you can look to. In the UK, there's Carers Trust, Carers UK, Alzheimer's Society's Dementia Forum is also a good starting point. And of course, you should ask for something called a carer's assessment, but I know that that is a lottery. But it's what helped me in the end, and it's what I would suggest that you do as well. Otherwise, you have to ask family and friends. You need to get them to not just give you, oh yeah, how can I help you? Without some kind of concrete agreement of time or place. So it's, oh, I'd love to help. Oh, great. Would you mind coming round at 2:00 on so-and-so day so I can go to the library, or I can go and get my hair done, or I can get my nails done, or I can go for exercise. Whatever it is, you need to be specific and concrete when somebody offers you support. Because I think they mean it really. It's just following through is much harder than actually offering it. And that's the help that you need. You have to think long term. I did this for much, much longer than I expected. All I know is that I wish I had asked sooner. Not because I wasn't strong, but because we both deserved better. We both needed more. And honestly, you need a system that can catch you. Because what happens if I fall ill, deal with caregiver burnout or stress, which I have experienced? What happens to the person that you care for then? This is why you need to have a support mechanism in place, so that those people are there to be called on when you need them. Find the organisations in your country and talk to them and ask them for help. But it doesn't matter what type of carer you are. You could be a long-distance carer, you could be a young carer, you can be a carer that's sharing duties looking after somebody who's older as well as looking after children. You could be a full-time carer, you could be a part-time carer, you could be working carer. Whatever the type of carer you are, look for the support that you can get. And the sooner that you can do that, the better it is for you. So the final thing is that routine helps. But also flexibility is what saves you as well. So I clung to routine at the beginning. I knew that it helped give Mum structure in her day and purpose and understanding, and it helped her as well as it helped me. And for a while it was the solution basically, but you'll soon learn that dementia doesn't care about schedules. Things will go off. Some days nothing worked, whatever I tried. So you need to be flexible. You need to be able to change the plan. You need to be able to let go of it basically, and be okay with letting go of the plan. And that's sometimes quite hard. If Mum doesn't feel up to going to art class today, or having a massage or whatever, then that's okay. You just let it go and do something else. You have to be able to be flexible as a caregiver. It's something you learn very quickly. But routine does help. Just know that you sometimes have to let that go. If you're early on in your caregiving journey, if any of this sounds familiar or has helped, then I've included in the description box down below a free PDF with the things I've talked about today. I'll be sharing more lessons learned from my journey as a dementia caregiver in the following weeks. Just know that there's no perfect way to do this. There's no formula. You don't have to figure it out all alone. And I wish that I had someone who could have talked to me at the beginning and said, just look at these things and think about them now, early on in your journey, so they could help you be a better caregiver and make sure that you care for yourself as well. Until next time, take care. Bye.